everyone. Welcome to the Chef Ava Marie Season 2 of the Happy Hour Podcast. I am your host, Chef Ava Marie, and today we have a very special, high profile guest on the show. She is the host of Chef Please Bay Area, and she is a wine sommelier, and she travels around the world to the destination that you desire, from Italy to France. I please welcome to the stage Leslie Sbrocco. Are you there, Leslie?
Hello, Chef
Hello.
Ava. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
Doing good. Welcome to the Chef Podcast. First high
Thank you.
profile guest.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I know. So, how did you got started in the wine sommelier business in the first place? Before Check, please.
Well, I came out, I grew up in the Midwest near
Oh,
Chicago and moved out here to after college,
ah,
thinking I might go to law school, and quickly decided that I didn't want to be a lawyer.
ah,
And so I went back to sort of what I wanted to do, which was I did a lot of public speaking and a
oh
lot of
yeah,
theater in college
improv,
and in high school.
yeah.
And so I just started working. I guess you could say it's sort of as an actress, but more hosting things. And all the while I was getting interested in wine because it's so available, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up in a household that we were allowed to have little sips as kids, and things like that. And so I began to pursue my love of wine as just a hobby. Um, and I started going to all the wineries and visiting. I even volunteered to work, help at harvest time, excuse me, with some of the
Wow.
wineries. Um, and at one point, after a couple of years of doing that, I thought, gosh, how do I marry my love of wine with my, love of doing, television and
Yeah.
um, the video things that I was doing then. And I just sort of I started to produce a small little show for a local PBS station, not KQED. And then it was KCSM. And then I just sort of fell into doing more videos for wineries and taking the wine piece of things more seriously and moving my business to producing some little videos for wineries. And then I got involved with Microsoft, was starting a project called Sidewalk, which was it was, because it no longer is part of Microsoft, but it was a city guide on the internet, and that was just when things were kind of happening. And so a friend brought me on to write and do all the wine content
Yeah.
online. So I became sort of the go-to person for online wine content a long time ago, and built another site for the New York Times company about wine, and then got back into TV. CBS called me to do a CBS Wine Minute.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was shooting some segments for a local PBS show,
Wow.
and a cooking show, and I was came in to do some wine. And there's a funny story there, remind me to tell you. But and then somehow KQED got my name and realized that, this girl's been doing some PBS stuff already. And they auditioned me and offered me the job. And that was 18 years ago for Check Please.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
So
how did you got into your TV work, like mentioned above, and including Check Please Bay Area? And what inspired you to do it 18 years ago, and what was it is today?
in terms of Check Please,
Yeah, the
do I
show
think,
itself and how it
yeah.
evolves with the community.
So the concept originally came from a producer in Chicago. And so it aired as Check Please Chicago
Yeah.
for several years before we licensed the concept to use for San Francisco. And that was in 2006. And
Wow.
so I think that was our first shooting. And so, it was a much smaller show when we were trying to figure it out. It's funny to go back to see those original shows. We were on a full set. Now we've evolved to a green screen set and very high tech camera system. We shot 3 shows in a day. It was just bam, bam, bam. And it's changed a lot in terms of the way we film it. We're as I said, much more high tech now. People are so familiar with the show after running so long. I
Yeah.
think we really do have a sense of community of people that love the show. Oh, I'm such a huge fan. And so I think it does. I think it speaks to the quality of the guests, the quality of
Hmm.
the production team. I hope the quality of the host.
Yeah.
That this is kind of become a Bay Area institution after
Oh
18
yeah.
seasons.
So you have traveled to Europe, and what are your top travel destinations to Europe? I know you did a travel show, 100 Days, Drinks and Dishes. What was that
Yes,
like?
I have. So I have traveled to many, many places around the world, primarily that make wine. And so in Europe, I was just there in May for some visits to places. I have to say I am a lover of Italy. I just adore Italy, and I think a fun place to really look for is Sicily. People don't
Hold
think,
on.
oh,
Bella,
you got a
shut
nice
up.
dog barking.
That's my dog. Yeah, Bella. She's
Well,
cute.
Bella wants some attention too. She wants you to talk to her.
Yeah, she wants an interruption. Yeah, I try to interview you. I'm trying to tell Leslie's a high profile. We have a lady on the line. So yeah, we want to be press you. So it's about you. Yeah.
So I would say Italy is one of my favorites. You can tour the wine country around Florence, which is Tuscany, the beautiful central part of Italy, but then maybe down to the heel of Italy, of the boot of Italy, and go to Puglia, where they make great red wines from
Wow.
Primitivo. Then over to Sicily, the island of Sicily, which makes amazing wines, things called Nero Diavola. And do you want me to wait until Bella's done barking, or do you want to keep going?
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'll be right with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Bella, outside right now. Okay? Outside right now. I'm back. So here he goes. So sorry
Oh,
about
there
that
we know.
dog.
No worries. No worries. We want to start from a certain point again?
Okay, so you love to travel. So where are your top travel destinations?
Well, I have to say my top travel destinations, certainly Europe, if you're a wine lover and you haven't gone to France, Spain, or Italy, those are the places to mark. To go visit Tuscany in Italy, outside of Florence, where they make Chianti, and Chianti Classico is beautiful. In Italy, also the island of Sicily is amazing. They make wonderful wines, a white wine called Grillo, and a Grillo, and a red wine called Nero di Avola or Nerello Bascalese. Can say that with me 20 times.
That's
France, of course, Champagne. The Champagne region of France is one of my favorite places in the world to go.
wow.
And then Spain. I'm a big lover of Spanish wine. So the region of Rioja in Spain, in basically north central Spain, and Galicia on the west coast of Spain, just by Portugal, and then Portugal. I'm a big, huge fan of Portuguese wines, and so it's yeah, and I've got somebody dropping off 2 cases of wine as we
What?
speak at my front door. So hang on, I'm going to have to sign for them.
Yeah, go do your thing too.
Okay, hang on. Let me. I got to
Do.
show him my.
Oh my
I got to
God.
show him my ID and make sure that I'm 21.
We're 21. We're okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm over
yeah.
21.
Me too. I got to prove it though. Hi. Oh, okay. Thank you, Leslie. You can just leave that there. I'll get it. Thank you. Okie doke. Wine delivered.
Yay.
There we go. But there's also wonderful places. New Zealand, big fan of visiting New Zealand. If you're a wine lover, they're gorgeous places to taste wine outside of a region called Marlborough on the northern tip of the South
Uh-huh.
Island. And Chile is a beautiful spot to visit, all up and down the country for great wines. I could go on
Yeah.
and on. I could take up a whole half an hour just talking about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so what was your most interesting guest on Check Please? The interesting everyday guest.
Oh, you were a fantastically interesting guest.
I know, but I'm a blogger now and a CDS lady. I do both
That's right.
jobs.
That's right. I've had some really fascinating guests. I've had everybody from cab drivers to doctors to lawyers to educators to drag queens to, one of my favorite shows was we had my friend Chef Ryan Scott, who was a wonderful.
Oh,
Love Ryan. And then we had BB Sweetbriar, who is a lounge singer, trans lounge singer.
wow.
And we had Sister Roma
I love
from Sisters.
her.
Isn't she amazing? Sister Roma from Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence in San
Did they have
Francisco.
her friend or what was that? The lady who cooks with Sister Roma?
We
Would
didn't. We didn't on that show. We had BB, who was a singer.
no,
But
but
it
what
was just
about the there was another drag queen. She's popular in San Francisco, and she hasn't been on Check Please.
no. So we need more shows. We'll get the name and we'll reach out. But yeah, that was a fantastically fun show. One of my most fun shows. I've had kids. I think that the shows
The
with the
little ones are so
kids.
cute. There's the
Oh, the
young.
kids, I just love those shows. They were just so much fun. I mean, these were very precocious young, teens. We had some teen shows but the little kids were the ones I loved,
Oh,
So I just remember one little girl talking about her restaurant was it was Pearl's Wine Bar.
what?
And she loved going with her parents to the wine bar and having caviar. And she had a
Smart
little
girl.
lisp. Yeah, she had a little lisp. So she would say, I love the caviar.
She is a
She just
smart
had this little
girl
lisp.
at a young
She
age.
was, yeah, she was wonderful. So
I did
all the
not eat
kids,
caviar at 13. I was actually
I know.
eating
No, she was probably
pizza.
about 9. Yeah. And,
Wow.
um, and so I don't think she was drinking champagne with it. So I think we're safe there.
No. Oh, good.
But so that was, it was wonderful to see the kids. So
Although
hopefully
at 15, I did have oysters, though. I did have
there you go.
15. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Have you always been a foodie, a food lover?
Yes, since I was 13. I started my love for cooking at age 13. Yeah.
Good for you. And how often do you cook every meal every night or
I make all the dinners. Yes.
you do? That's great.
So, did any celebrities or any celebrity chefs appear on Check Please other than Ryan Scott? Did he have any other celebrity features like talk
You
show
know,
lamps?
no, we didn't. Oh, we had some other chefs. I
You
shouldn't say
did.
that. We had Anita, who had a restaurant up in Chef Anita, who had a wonderful restaurant up in Napa, which
Oh.
sadly has closed. We had. I'm trying to remember any other names of chefs that we had on. We had Chef. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name
He's
now.
Asian American.
David. Oh, David Fu. David. Was it David? He was amazing. And I got to fact check that. Let's say we've had a handful, certainly no more than, 4 chefs have been on professionally, because the reason that we've shied away from having a lot of chefs on the show is that it's really about
Everyday people.
everyday people and
And
their experiences at
influencers
the
like
restaurants,
myself.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's, that's the fascinating part, is that viewers can relate to themselves through the guests. Oh, I'm like kind of like that guest. I think I would like that restaurant because, I like the way that guest describes it or something. So I think that it's really, we didn't want a lot of chefs on the show, and a few have made it on. I said again, just because we were doing a themed show, or there was something special about what we were doing
Yeah.
with that show. But it's the real guest that we love.
Like the Hamilton episode. What was
Oh,
that like?
that was an awesome episode. We did both a Harry Potter and a Hamilton episode. So
Wow.
the first one that we won an Emmy Award for was the Hamilton episode, which was shot right before lockdown, I remember.
Wow.
And so I'm a huge fan of Hamilton the musical. And so we had the San Francisco cast on. We had the gentleman who played Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton, as well as Aaron Burr, and then one of the Schuyler sisters.
Wow.
It was fantastic, and I can still do. Are you ready? How does a bastard orphan son of a whore and a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence impoverished and scholar grow up to be a hero and a scholar?
That's a Lin-Manuel moment. Yeah.
That's a little Lin-Manuel, yeah. So we got a chance to do that on camera afterwards. They're like, "Wow, she totally knows the musical." So that was a great one. And then we also did one on Harry Potter when the Harry Potter show was in town.
Oh, my dog's named
We
after
had the cast.
Bellatrix. What?
Yeah, we had the cast of Harry Potter's show
Oh,
on, and that was a really fun one to do too, because
good.
we shot, that was one of the ones we shot recently, and it was shot on a green screen behind us that we've moved away from a full set to a green screen, which looks remarkably like our
Yeah.
set. But we could do fun things and make it look like, kind of the Harry Potter theme behind us and the windows decorated.
Wow.
And so it was fun.
So, will be another celebrity episode, featuring Martin Yan, Tyler Florence, and E40 in the future, or maybe would you like to have those guys?
That would be awesome to have that. I mean, E40, I love him. Earl Stevens. I did
Yeah, he's a Bay Area icon. Yes,
icon. He and a foodie and owner of Olympia Company. And I
and
did
Gunnar Spoon. Yeah.
and Gunnar Spoon. He's a terrific guy. I'll tell you, I had him on. He's got some beautiful wines, Earl Stevens wines. And I had him on my panel in Aspen when I
Wow.
spoke at the Aspen Food and Wine Classic in the summer. And then I've done some podcast, some podcast interviews with him, and met him numerous times. What a guy! What a super nice
Oh,
man.
he's sweet.
And Martin Yan, you couldn't get more classic and superstar culinary status here.
He's a legend.
I shot with him on one of my episodes of 100 Days, Drinks, Dishes, and Destinations on PBS. And he took me on a tour for secret little hideaways and his favorite spots in Chinatown. So that was wonderful. And of course, my dear friend Ryan, who does his catering company and lots of other things. That would be an award-winning show. You're right, Ava. That would be award-winning.
I don't think you met Tyler Florence yet, but you have to meet him.
Oh, sorry. Chef Ryan is great. Sorry, you mentioned Tyler. Of course, I've met Tyler. Yeah, Tyler is fantastic. Nicest guy. And we just had his newest project, Miller and Lux, covered on the show last season. So really, it's really great. He is a nice man. And he is a nonstop. He's got 2 more restaurants opening up, I think,
in the Union Square with Macy's, I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, like Miller and Lux Provisions or something, in Miller and Lux Cafe or something. So good for him.
And then did you have any food influencers that could, other than myself, on this check, please? Because I was the influencer, one of the girls who was 7 Mile House.
Well, I hope we will. The show is, the process to get on the show is not that we pick people, but that
I had to apply.
People apply to be on the show. So what they do is you have to apply, and then the producers will look through, and we have wonderful producers on the show. They'll look through that stack of incoming emails and applications, and it's a process. So they pick first from there, but we get inundated with applications, and they'll look at, is this interesting? Is it restaurant suggestions we haven't done before, because you have to put down 3 restaurants, and does it seem like an interesting person? Then they'll do a phone interview. And then typically an in-person interview. Things got a little askew during COVID, but
audition,
So, it's a process to get on the show, but you got to apply first, and that's the key. So possibly, hey, food influencers, apply to be on.
And then that Hamilton show was great. And would you also consider having Big Bay Morning Show podcast guys on on an episode in the future? I'm
Well,
a fan.
that's one I got to talk to the producers about too. We've got some fun things coming up that I can't talk about yet,
Okay,
but we're doing some interesting shows, filming them beginning of December. So
good.
they'll start airing in the spring. So you'll see.
Okay,
Might
thank
be
you.
something like Check Please on the Road.
What?
Or maybe, I don't know.
Come to my
We'll see.
neighborhood, Westminster Manor.
So, how's the restaurant that you recommended on the
It's
show?
going well. Things are going well since the pandemic. It's no longer a music venue, but it's just a family restaurant these days.
That's great. That's great. Well, we hope that we have what some have called the check please effect. When when restaurants are on the show, they typically get a really big bump in business, which is great, for a good feeling for us. I know we've kept restaurants in business. I know we've, been helpful in terms of bringing more people to the restaurants in
Yeah,
order
and they
to.
you got and then there was a writer named Pablo. He wrote an article on the Ube Bake Off, but he was really good at writing the article, so he did a great
Oh,
job. That one
that's
of the
great.
Eater SF writers.
Oh, that's great.
And then I did hear that you were on another show called Today's Show with Hoda, Kathy Lee, and Jenna. What was that like?
Absolutely. I've been on the Today Show, I'd say for a good 12 years, doing wine segments. And so when my very first book came out, I was on, and it was, I think, one of Katie Couric's last days. That's how long I've been doing the show. So maybe it's longer than
Oh,
12 years. I've met them all, Katie and Matt Lauer, and then moving to Al Roker. I did segments with Al Roker, and then
wow.
finally we kind of settled in. Oh yeah, with Carson Daly. I did a
He's a
segment
hottie.
for New Year's. He's a nice man.
Yeah, I actually
Um,
happened to book a Kathy Lee's book, and I think it's right here
oh,
somewhere. Let me just
and
show
Kathy
you.
Lee is just an absolute love. I spent years doing the show
It's
with her
right here.
before
It says
she left.
Kathy Lee with a hot lady.
Yeah, isn't that cute? She is just a
Yes.
wonderful human being, I'll tell you. She has just got the heart and soul of an angel.
It's her
She's such a
Regis.
sweet lady. Yeah, and then Jenna is great. So, and I love Hoda. So I'm lucky enough to get to do that show quite regularly.
Good. I hope their PR is. I hope that I can reach out. I want to get Hoda and Kathy Lee on this show someday.
Well, they're two different. Yeah, Kathy Lee's now down in Tennessee, and she has a beautiful, um, kind of business going of her own.
Oh,
She does
music
wine, she
business. That's
does other things. Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. So there's there. She doesn't have anything still to do with the Today Show. So,
Good.
but yeah.
But she's got some celebrity stories. Good.
Oh, she's fantastic. Yeah, good human.
And then what about Hoda? She's still on the Today Show with.
Oh, she is. She, again, wonderful. That NBC team is wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Hoda is just the nicest lady. She is
Oh.
always, I get on set right before we get on, and there's a big hug, big hugs, and how you doing? And so Leslie, we love you. So both, yeah, yeah.
Does she?
Hoda
Do
is
you
is a
ever run
gem.
into my comedic crush Jimmy Fallon? Because I'm actually have a crush on him.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I've never met Jimmy Fallon.
You
No,
never
but
do.
no, I've never met
On
him.
a
But
run-in.
I would like to. I would like to meet him. Yeah, it's true.
You should. I will ask Hoda about that. I will talk to her if I can get their PR's information. So
Now, Jimmy Kimmel, I didn't meet him, but I was technically on his show because he
what?
did a roundup of very funny things. It's on my Instagram page.
I
Um,
saw that.
the little clip, yeah, they were doing something like,
The older
the little segment
Jimmy.
was about little clips that if we bleeped out words that didn't need to be bleeped out, what would that sound like? And it was very funny. I was on a segment there were clips from Obama did clips. They pulled a clip from one of my 100 Days shows. So
What?
it's very funny. So I was officially on Jimmy Kimmel. You can find the clip on my website. On my Instagram page, which is just
I
my name at
will.
Leslie
It's
Sbrocco.
hilarious.
It is funny. It's very funny.
So this is what we do at the end of the show. I'm going to play a game, and it was inspired by the season finale of the episode of Chef Ava Marie Happy Hour podcast. So I'm going to ask you your top 5. So be ready, okay?
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm nervous now. Yay.
Be ready. It's a game. So, favorite
Okay.
book to read?
I just finished Lessons in Chemistry. Wonderful.
Fantastic. Favorite recipe to cook at home?
Homemade ravioli.
Oh, that's good. And how do you learn to make that?
Hand cranked pasta, and my mother-in-law taught me.
Good.
From the Italian side of the family. That's where my last name comes from, Sbrocco. So I do the handmade pasta, the handmade filling, the handmade sauce, everything.
That goes with wine. Okay. Favorite TV show to watch today?
To watch today? Yike.
There's a lot of reality shows.
You know what? It's the finale of the morning show on Apple TV. I'm watching that.
Favorite podcasts?
Yours.
Mine, and what other ones do you ever listen to?
Oh gosh. I listen to a wonderful woman called Kate Bowler, who's an author. And she is a very inspirational woman and has some really inspirational guests on. So Kate Bowler.
Thank you. Favorite restaurant to eat in the Bay Area and beyond?
Oh my goodness. Now you're putting me on the spot, aren't you, with that one?
Oh yeah, you know your restaurants.
Favorite restaurant to eat in the Bay Area. I'll tell you, I just had a wonderful meal not too long ago at one of the classic restaurants in San Francisco Boulevard, and just love it. So
that's
cool. I
can't
say favorite. It's really hard, but it's certainly one of my
one of your favorites.
One of my go-to classics.
Good. Well, it was an honor having you on the podcast. You were a fantastic guest.
Even though we had dogs barking and FedEx deliveries coming,
It's okay. We're good.
It's
okay. You were a wonderful, high-profile guest.
Well,
we made it work.
Thank you for having me on, and good luck with the next show after me.
Yeah, we're having David Canepa next week. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. All right. Mwah. Big hugs.
Cheers to you.
Okay. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye, Ava.
Bye-bye. There she goes. So I got a couple things we're going to do for next week's episode. So we have a Harvest Festival happening at San Mateo Event Center today through the 12th. And it's $9 and $7 for seniors and $4 for youth. And 12 and under could go free with the adult. There is a $2 off coupon that I'll show here. It's right here, okay? It's just a coupon, okay? And then my friend Donna is going to have it's going to be one of the vendors for St. Peter's Parish Holiday Boutique. And there will be 40 vendors at from 11 to the 12th, from 10 to 6 p.m. and 9 to 12:30 to 3 p.m. at 700 Old Stat Boulevard in Pacifica, California. And then that on the November 11th, Holy Angels Church will host a Christmas boutique from 11 to 6 at San Pedro Road in Colma, California. So don't forget to get your holiday shopping done. So until next time, saucy to perfection, and we'll see you next week with David Canepa, Board of Supervisors, District 5. Bye-bye.